December 2022 soul story. If you have a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, then this is your reading for the month ahead. It's Romy here. Thanks so much for taking the time to tune in as we wrap up this year. So we're going to open up with the energy of the Ace of Wands, and you are turning the page, and as you do, Aries, something surprising is catching your eye, inspiring you and setting off a spark. And it's the most divine timing, really, because perhaps there's an area where you still feel a little bit stuck, perhaps through the reflection of looking back over this year and things that didn't quite come together in the way you'd expected, or where expectations just haven't been met. You know, there might be a little feeling of being discontent or a little bit down in some regards, and yet the universe wants to prove to you, wants to show you something in this month of December that says, have no fear. Where you're going is not only unleashing this potential, but there is so much beauty and growth coming in for you that even if you are still a little bit like, I'll believe it when I see it, I think there's going to be enough of a gift or a sign coming in the month of December that ought to have you feeling a little bit more optimistic and hopeful perhaps than you'd expected to in some area. Now we're going to be welcoming both Neptune and Chiron, the healing feeling planets, shifting direct this month. It means that you're going to be able to start emotionally expressing yourself again in ways that feel more natural to you. Perhaps you'll be reflecting on some of the ways in which you've been able to heal or come to terms with things. And some of those visions and plans and creative ideas that have been bubbling away perhaps have felt a little bit stuck, or they have required some deep reviews, again are also getting a little bit of a green light. Now you've got Page of Cups coming in here, which I love. Does indicate to me that there are some really quite sweet sentimental messages that are also going to be making their way towards you. And I think again perhaps there's a part of you that had maybe given up hope or hadn't really expected to receive or to hear the news that is going to be coming in for you. In some regards, I want to say what's been pulling you apart is also the thing that's going to ultimately end up bringing you back together. So whether that's indicative around a specific relationship, family situation, or just something that's been going on within yourself. But again, this sort of soulful, psychic, intuitive qualities of Neptune also really being strengthened and amplified with the arrival of that Page of Cups coming in. Now, of course, it's important to remind you that we do have one final Mercury retrograde coming in. It's going to be right at the end of the month on the 29th, but we will be working with shadow a little bit. So remember, again, this is a time to be revisiting and going back over the details, and where communication can sometimes feel a little bit stilted. At the same time, I think that the conversation that you're having with yourself is improving. The thoughts that you're thinking, the way that you are cheering yourself on, how you're respecting and acknowledging the path that you've walked, the healing that you've had to go through, all of that is really coming into a new sense of understanding and a new light being shone on something for you that's really important. Part of that, what my guides are saying, is also the reminder that, you know, all of us have to deal with people's misconceptions of us, yeah? And it's not your job to try to convince them otherwise. Your job is in the reaction and the response that you have. And as you are able to really release and liberate yourself from that projection of being misunderstood, you're going to be able to find a much greater degree of peace. And that's important. But the Tower comes in with this little bit of a shake-up, wake-up energy. Now, we have a full moon in Gemini coming in on the 7th of the month, okay? And around that time, a little bit of misinformation and, you know, things perhaps getting blown out of proportion in terms of the conversations, words. And as I said, and we talked about this idea of misconceptions or misunderstandings, you'll need to be a little bit mindful around that time. She does look like she's trying to hold on and hold something together as it's breaking, as it's crumbling. And I think that there is this invitation for you from the universe to have no fear about where you find yourself right now, Aries. everything is changing, but we have to also go beyond the things that are breaking, and we have to have that boldness, that courage of our vision, courage of conviction. And I really feel that the kind of clearing energy of that tower, and it may just be that there's a bit of a bust up or an argument around that full moon. It may be that there's something bigger that's unfolding in your life that feels kind of scary. It feels even a little bit overwhelming. But remember, that ace is indicative of all this new potential, this new beginning, this new chapter happening, and therefore we just simply cannot take everything with us. And if there are situations or energies that have become a little bit heavy, dense, stuck, they need to be broken up, they need to be dissipated and dissolved so that you're free to be able to fully embrace and walk forward on this new pathway. And even though you might not always like, the methods deployed by the universe, so to speak, sometimes in hindsight we're able to look back and realize, well, that was the fastest way, or that was the only way really for me to see something that I needed to see, or for someone else to see it, or whatever it is that needed to happen through that situations. So around that full moon, a little bit intense, but at the same time I feel quite cathartic, because maybe you're going to get something off your chest, or maybe you're going to hear something that, will maybe give you a little bit of validation or put something into context, okay? Now I want to also remind you that we've got some fairly intense squares coming in the month of December in relation to Jupiter. Now Jupiter's in Pisces up until the 20th, where it's then going to re-enter your sign again, Aries. Okay, so from the 20th onwards, that's going to be a helpful boost for you. But these three squares are coming in on the 5th and the 9th, which is going to flank that full moon, but also on the 21st, okay? Solstice energy and the sun shifting into Capricorn. Now, we want to make sure that we're not over-committing at that time, okay? Just don't stretch yourself. And there may be a tendency with the energy around that full moon to want to somehow respond in a specific way and perhaps take an action to try to prove something to somebody or to yourself, and therefore, getting into something that's maybe a little bit over your head. And I feel like there may be a little bit of regret or feeling like you don't know how you can back out or extricate yourself from something. So just keep that in mind for me, okay? I feel the one on the 21st might be even more potent, as it's back into your sign with Jupiter as well. But Hierophant is saying here, what are the lessons that we've learned? Yeah, what have we truly understood about ourselves, our behavior, our journey, about the relationships in our life, about key themes that we've been invited to work through in the course of 2022? Because all of this is giving you like a really powerful storyline, if you like, that you're meant to be sort of embodying and integrating and really processing here. Now, I think there's going to be some important conversations in regards to commitment. Remember, in Sagittarius season, though, it is a fellow fire sign, which is positive for you, but this mutable energy means people tend to spiral and spin out quite a lot, very changeable in their mind and their direction. And that can feel a bit frustrating if you're all ready to green light go, or if you've made a hard decision of like, nope, that's not where it sits, and you feel like everyone's on board and all of a sudden things are changing. And again, the mutability of that full moon is going to sort of amplify that even further. So as we talk about this rigidity and convention that can sometimes come through with the energy of the Hierophant, we need to sort of walk a bit of a tightrope, I feel, at times excuse me, through the energy of December. Nothing that you can't handle, by the way, nothing that you can't handle, but you just need to make sure that you're bringing through this energy of devotion over any doubt that might be surfacing, okay? Because when you start to tune in too much about how somebody else is painting the picture of something, then it can make you start to track back over, decisions that you'd already come to terms with, or where you felt was going to be the right thing for you. But what matters is what you believe, what you want to do, where you want to be, where you want to go, And I really want you to remember that when things might feel a little bit confusing or overwhelming, okay? But at the same time, if you can think about lessons learned, if you can tap into that inner wisdom, that inner guru that's coming through for you, I think you're going to be able to find the right balance of, holding a strong foundation, perhaps adhering to some sort of structure, protocol, rules, but at the same time still enabling and allowing that intuitive part of yourself to be very firmly in the driver's seat, because that's one of the most important things you've been learning this year. Now, my Sacred Soul support for December is going to be focusing on a beautiful 2022 soul review in the light, and in the shadow talking about spiritual scarcity. You might want to check those out, as well as my solstice activation that's coming through. Now we've got Wheel of Fortune showing up right in the centre of your reading this month, so some really surprise announcements coming through. Perhaps you're going to be the one doing that, or it's certainly coming in with this unpredictability. I quite like that because, in some regards, just when you've thought, okay, this is done, this is over, this is not moving, this is not happening, because I feel it's meant to be coming in with like this beautiful sort of sign from the universe, this uplifting, this gift, this opportunity, if you like, that you need to be ready to say yes to. And honestly, I feel like the timing could probably not be more inconvenient, is what I'm picking up from the guides in your mind, in your mind. On Spirit's time, well, there is no time from their perspective, but it's right on track, and it's exactly what's meant to be delivered to you at this exact moment. But you're going to feel the inconvenience of it. Try not to worry. I honestly feel that you are going to be able to handle whatever comes your way, and you're still going to be able to say yes to the things that you want to, whilst at the same time perhaps still honouring commitments that you have. That might be something coming through as well. But we need to be ready to say yes. Of course, Wheel of Fortune is linked in with that energy of Jupiter, and as it bounds back into your sign on the 20th, I do think there's going to be something stirred up. We're going to be revisiting perhaps what was going on earlier in the year around the energy of this for you. Okay, remember the benevolence of Jupiter is beautiful, but it will amplify whatever is going on. So you need to make sure your thoughts and your energy are all aligned towards expansion, growth, possibility, abundance. Yeah, that's going to be significant. Now, Ceres, the asteroid goddess, is shifting into the harmonious sign of Libra on the 18th, and that mother archetypal energy is really helping us to understand how we nurture and nourish ourselves, how we find that harmony through the conflict, through the chaos, but also the reminder of focusing on the beauty within as well as without. And this is the season to be focusing on the kindness, the compassion, the tolerance more than ever. Remember, the goddess reports are offered by me, and you can find the link in the comment description box, and you can look at your own personal natal chart and see how Ceres might be working with you through this month of December. So the Magician is coming in here, which I really like. We've got some very powerful majors showing up in December, not a surprise to me at all, but the Magician with the Wheel of Fortune, wow, hold on to your hats, Aries. There's something here that you're meant to be seizing. You're meant to be taking this and running with it. The more you can remember everything you've learned, everything you've got, by way of your gifts, your potential, the natural things that you do and you do so well, all of a sudden these are getting the opportunity to be on stage, to be up front, and to be there to help support you, get you out of a jam, help you progress something, help you turn a situation around. I really feel like you're being given this gift of being able to sort of use the lessons wisely and to demonstrate to others, this is how you do it, this is how you come back from whatever. This is a recovery, a testament to resiliency, endurance, tenacity here. But you do need to sell yourself in regards to something. Sell your ideas, your vision, your beliefs, sell yourself in regards to, letting people see the real you. I think that's really important this month. And especially if you're trying to cling on to the old, but all of this new energy is coming in, the Magician is going to have you working overtime and just trying to spin all of these plates. But again, I think this is more than possible. Now, there's a lot sort of crammed into this top hat, if you like, but the window and also the transparency of the hat is quite important. So even though there's a lot going on, it's going to feel quite clear and transparent to you in terms of you know, everything you need to do or why things are coming in the way that they are. So I like that for you. It doesn't feel that there's confusion on your part. Might be a lot going on, but you understand what's happening and what you need to do in that instance. Now we have a beautiful turning point, of course, when we welcome solstice energy coming into Capricorn season, which will light up your 10th house of career and legacy, the way you want to move through the world. Remember, these energies of solstice so powerful to help to calibrate us, and it really levels us. Yeah, it levels us. It brings us back into ourselves, lets us call our energy back home, work with the natural rhythms of the universe, and having a sacred space, a sacred pause at that time, going to be incredibly important, especially as it's just ahead of the new moon in Capricorn coming in on the 23rd, which will be the same day Chiron in your sign Aries goes direct. Again, I think there's something really auspicious and quite fast-paced taking place between the 20th and the 23rd. So solstice just says take a beat, take a breath, just calm yourself in this moment. Make sure you really see and receive everything that you're meant to right then, because there's a powerful lesson that the universe is showing you, not in a negative way, in a really beautiful way. Okay, and then of course we'll work through that holiday season and we'll have Mercury retrograde around that time, so you know that'll bring its own complexity to the table, but it's not anything that we're not used to. Might interrupt a little bit of travel plans around that time, but again we can find our sense of inner balance and harmony amidst the conflict and the chaos. Now I've pulled another 3 cards here. If you're new to the channel, we go into these in our extended reading, Aries, and you can find the link for that in the comment and description box. We'll talk for another 25-30 minutes or so and give you deeper insights for December. Now I'm just going to invite you to think about a personal question. Okay, it might not have come up in the main spread so far. We'll pull a couple of cards for you to talk about that, and I'm just going to go ahead and clarify this main reading now. Okay, see what direction we're going to be taking. So our Ace of Wands is coming in with the energy of the Devil and the 8 of Pentacles. Now this month for December I'm going to be doing a bonus love reading, which you will be able to access if you're purchasing all 12 of the soul stories. So that'll be a 30-minute reading to talk about different situations for you in terms of love and relationships for some insight. I'm also going to give you a preview in your extended version of some messages for 2023, okay? So we've got Lovers and the 8 of Cups coming. I'm just going to pull one more there. 8 of Swords, okay? Let's talk about the Tower. 5 of Cups. Hanged Man. 9 of Wands. There's the Star. Whatever it is that, you know, might come in to disrupt a little bit or bring some upheaval, that beautiful Star's coming through. 3 of Cups. So there's a nice turnaround, okay? Judgment with the Wheel of Fortune. 3 of Swords. Moon and Emperor wanted to come out as well. I'm just going to take these extra majors because they have something significant to say. We've got the energy of Death coming in and Queen of Pentacles. You can see how sometimes these clarifiers really want to open up the conversation quite considerably for us. All the decks that I use, Aries, also listed in the comment and description boxes underneath, okay? So we're going to go ahead and pull you some oracle cards now. This is Life Soul Vision, my oracle deck. Again, you'll find this over on my website. Thank you so much for everyone who has invested and supported me in bringing this to life. And it's amazing to see you all working with it in the collective. Thank you. So your message, Aries. Spirit Stag, heavenly timing. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to look at your Priestess of Light. Divine Mother, nurturing, compassion, grace. A little nod to Ceres coming in there again. And we've got the Angels of Atlantis deck. So I want to have an angel message for you. Now I also have an angel report now out, similar to the goddess readings. So you can check that out, personalised to your natal chart. All of these tools that I provide you with just to give you deeper insight and awareness and really support you on your soul journey. Okay, you have Raziel and Faith. Beautiful. All right, Aries, if you're joining me for the extended, we will continue this cosmic conversation. Otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in, all your support this year. I wish you a beautiful, peaceful holiday season, and I will see you again in 2023. You take good care.